Says we're live.
All right, so we'll call the meeting to order. We have 4 members present, and Stacy Mullins is not present. She may be calling in. And so first up is approval of the minutes from the June 25th meeting of 2025.
Make a motion.
Second it.
Any questions or corrections? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
I got Chief. I got Stacy here.
Okay.
Stacy, you're on speaker here. We're gonna pass you on.
Okay, thanks. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, next up is under financial matters, the fund report has been submitted. Any questions on that? Okay, no questions or concerns?
No questions.
All right, so next up is the claims that were submitted now on this accounts payable register.
I make a motion to pay all claims as presented. I'll second.
Anybody have questions or corrections? All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passed. All right. So President's report, not been a lot of activity. The only thing that has transpired is the final closing of the parcels along 6th and 7th Street for the project that's going on with the Dunkin' Donuts there. And so that closed, funds have been received and paid. And here's a copy if somebody wants to see that of the amounts. And let's see. I don't think, yeah, I don't have anything else. This I've been aware of. Is anything
No, that was the big thing. Got that done. And
no other closings, anything in between?
no, I don't have any, didn't get any time frame from them, but I mean, obviously that just closed. I just received the recorded documents yesterday. But I know they were working through their stuff with NDOT. I don't know if we've got any, Tyler's in the back of the room, if we've heard anything further from, where they're at, maybe a time frame to break ground or anything.
Been in contact with Stephen Colbert, he's kind of the guy I've been working on the project with. And I had a call from another Stephen, he was kind of doing their survey type stuff. He was explaining that I'm pretty sure if we look at it on the GIS, it's still three parcels. And I was explaining at the end, I think it was all combined into one. That was the latest I heard, that was early last week. I didn't hear back from that Stephen. I know they're in the process of combining all that into one, and then just the area they're taking care of, pretty much, they're ready to break down.
Good deal.
I'm also, now since they own it, I've spoken with the Stephen Colbert, I can see the grass is kind of working through it, so, I reached out to them again this morning about possibly getting that taken care of, or Roger mentioned, the mayor mentioned us still taking care of mowing the city, but also not charging them a fee.
Sure.
So I reached out to him for a second time here, trying to get confirmation what he wants to do moving forward, since they do technically own the house.
Okay. All right. Next up is under committee reports, would be housing. I don't think there's been any activity within the committee for that. So then we get into old business. Let's see here. All right, so do you have anything on the projects you're working on?
I'll just kind of update on Meadowbrook.
Okay.
We sent an email to Christianity early July, just cutting grass, cleaning that up some, as well as asphalt kind of wedging, the driveways there, the last two driveways on Audrey Lane. We actually decided we are going to use, there's some money in there for final asphalting. We're gonna do a final asphalt all the way up to surface layer, up to that first culvert. That way the homeowners there at the end of Audrey don't have to deal with the dropping into the pavement section. So, we're going to use that money in there to pay for that. As well, there's been conversations of, the first two locations of the homes being built. I think those conversations are continuing. So that's kind of an update there. And then, just to update you guys on North Down Drive, we're continuing to work there. The rain last week kind of put a little slow to the grading of the roadway, but we should be starting to pour sections of that roadway here next week or two. So start moving down. The storm line's all in, so it's just working on the roadway at this point. So.
Okay. Scott, you have anything as far as on your guys' end?
Houses are under construction, out there, we had some, got out of the gate a little bit, stumbled getting out of the gate, if you will. We stopped, construction on lot 65 adjacent to the creek, and we're gonna flip over to lot 61. So we'll have houses, next few weeks, probably coming out of the ground, framing wise, on 61 and 63. We had a meeting yesterday with a realtor, local realtor, out of Clark County to list those properties for sale. So as there's vertical construction happening, we'll have those actively being marketed in the MLS. So finally seeing some progress there.
Right. Yeah, I ran into Chris Jackson this weekend at a softball tournament, and he brought up about the grass. He said he had a contractor that had mowed it once for him and thought the guy was gonna continue, and evidently didn't happen. And so until he got the phone call, so then I think he came up with a couple of his guys and actually got it knocked down, and I guess we take care of it going forward. Yeah. All right. Were you contacted by anybody, or by Lindsay Hopkins on the Fifth Street property in the last month? That was one thing that, I think he was gonna try to reach out to you.
No, but I was also out on vacation, but no, I've not had, I think that, I can't say who's in the back row back there, but if it was Danny or not.
No.
I've not heard from anybody.
Okay.
On it,
All right,
but I can reach out,
okay.
see where they're at on it.
I mean, this was a couple weeks ago, we're right after our meeting, actually, our last meeting, and it seemed as if they were ready to move forward, and he was gonna be with you and kind of get the particulars on how to do the agreements. I've not had any communication, from the Feltners or the Sticers from last meeting and our discussions on anybody else's running to them or having conversations. All right. Just looking through old business here.
I think beautifications in there, the welcome signs are finished.
Okay, good. I haven't seen them all, but what I've seen is look good.
Thank you.
So, let's see. We also had the, let's see, what's supposed to be in here? the 135 Church Street. Believe we have the appraisals in for that. And those. Is that something,
No, that's not public record.
I realize that as far as reading it, but I mean, as far as,
I've not seen it.
okay. Just wanna, do we move forward on something or just pass it on to you to get that?
I'll get that sent to me, and then if we wanna go ahead and, because we were needing that to update our list and then get the values and move forward from there, so. And I saw those on claims, but yeah.
Okay, so within the whole of the other properties, we're gonna do all together, basically. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Good luck. Let's see. Anybody else have any other old business?
I had one thing, I spoke to Roger about yesterday. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was another purchase of a property, the 1309 Gibson that we talked about months ago.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of went back and forth and couldn't get a good hold on it, but I guess Roger got back in touch with them. And now I guess it's a possibility of getting that purchased. And that is the pocket park on Gibson, it's kind of catty corner across the street from it.
So we had the one parcel already, or had. And so this is the house that's next to that, that's been back and forth.
Yeah.
And they're, okay.
And Roger wanted me to bring it up because, last time it was in motion, we had decided to make an offer on it or negotiate on it.
Mhm.
He wanted to know if we still wanted to.
Isn't this the one that has the title issue?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't, that was the issue. I mean,
That was?
Yeah, I don't think that's, I think that's the issue. I think there's a title issue, and not that he was not willing to sell, that there was a lien on the property that the seller was not willing to satisfy or willing to work
Did you
with
talk
us to
did you talk to the guy or you?
multiple times.
Okay, Roger told me yesterday that I guess now the mother's involved. So I don't know how that changes things, or if she's willing to help.
Yeah, I mean, unless she's now the deeded owner, there was the current owner or the owner that we were dealing with, previous spouse had a judgment that attached, and there was no cooperation or willingness to release, pay, settle, work to release. So that's where that ended, and it was a sizable amount that, did not make sense for a buyer to satisfy.
Are we opposed to him trying to pursue that though, if we can get the title issue?
If they'll, yeah.
Because Roger acted like he had new information that changed it from how it was prior, which I get there are a lot of issues, but Roger seemed hopeful about it.
Yeah, if it's something that can be worked out, and, I mean, just the property itself would be beneficial for the area to get that done, take care of, and improve the park area. Okay, so, I think.
It's worth a conversation.
All right. Any other old business? All right, new business. We have Sharon Gale Burr in conversations about 1253 Church Street and the development agreement we put together in the past. So can you just kind of explain, or do you want to speak?
We just want to know what we're able to do on that piece of property. If we can get it done right, or it has to be a tip bill, because I'm remodeling the house inside of her that she owns.
Right.
And it's almost ready to move into. And then my daughter will move up here from back out of Louisville, back up to home. and she was wondering if she could put a double wide there. Or what has to be done, you know, what the options with that lot.
So there is agreement in place that defines that out. And I know that Josh sent that out, and I'm trying to pull that up to have that in front of me, resend it out to us. But, so the agreement in place does not allow for a double wide.
Yes.
What's in there. And, just as a kind of a history of what we've been doing, what we've been trying to accomplish. A lot of these properties, we acquired a lot of properties through 2 different state grants that allowed us to purchase dilapidated or, properties, through a blight elimination program. And the state paid for the money to purchase and tear down, and then for us to clean up, and then to get back into useful order on the tax rolls. And so probably about 40 properties in total is what we got to on those. Our goal is, what we went through those, is to find the good, single family, stick-built residential homes. And then some lots were maybe not big enough, and some lots were adjacent to another homeowner. And so we also made the opportunity for adjacent homeowners to purchase those properties through the public auction, and allow that to be extended yard space, green space, or maybe another structure that they could, have room to put in detached garage or pool of some nature of that. A lot of as we know, a lot of our lots here in Austin are very small, so that would be a benefit. That would be another benefit to the community to have, nicer yard space. So the whole time throughout this whole period, we've been pretty vigilant that it either needs to be a stick-built house, or it needs to be additional property, like an adjacent property owner, something that complements their property. Everything that kind of helps the community and as a whole, and raise tax base and value, things like that. So to make an exception on that, when we were in 20, I don't know how many agreements we're into, those development agreements would go against basically everything that we have set out to do. So, the board's here, kind of now getting into opinion as far as, how I feel about it. And I think it's like, as much as we're compassionate to your situation, it would just go totally against everything we have set out to do, to allow that to happen. I don't know if anybody else has. So, on top of that is, in this particular situation on this parcel, there was multiple offers. And there was an offer for a stick-built house to be built that was higher, more money than the offer for the birds to take on as additional property space for their home. And so, in a sense, we gave kind of gave exception to the fact of the years that they took care of the property, and we did want to see some additional green space for property owners, and there was only a few opportunities for that. So we took a lower offer on that property to allow that to happen. So that'd be another reason, just kind of would not be a good precedent to go against when we'd already had another offer where it could have been a stick-built house.
Yes. Is there an option, can we stick built on the property?
I think, would that require an amendment? I don't know if it's in the agreement for that.
They can, yes. They are not required. So that's the distinction between the development agreement with them versus the development agreement with the developer.
Okay.
So because if they were to do a garage or anything like that, it would be required to be stick built. But yeah, it can be stick built. It has to meet all of our codes, the square footage, setbacks, all of that. Yes, it could be stick built, but there is no requirement of them to do anything with development agreement.
Does that make sense? So yeah, so it is allowed. So
Okay.
we have 2 different agreements. One with someone who's developing and starts out to build, and that's their purpose. Then we have a requirement that it must be done.
Okay.
So with this one, the way I'm understanding, where Josh is explaining this, it can go from green space to any other improvement. But if it's an improvement, it doesn't need to be stick built.
Okay.
And Tyler in the back here, Mr. Peterson, as far as like setbacks, and I'm not familiar with the size of that lot or anything, but I mean,
Last time, talked to Shane there a little bit before all the rest of the argument and stuff. So we're kind of explaining it was just like I said, kind of you all as far as, I think there were certain stipulations with that lot, what you could do, what you couldn't do, but I wasn't 100% sure. I know the lot's pretty good size, and I'm pretty sure it's a bigger lot. I think your lots are all combined into one currently, so we had to split them. You know, 'cause you can't have two structures on one parcel on a lot, but I know we have to split it. I think as far as their lot size, if they were to stick built, they have plenty of room as far as be able to meet setbacks and all that. Yeah. Now, I think they're not doing 1,100 square foot. Okay.
Well, we could beat all them.
Well, now, what about one of those log cabin things you're building now? Can you put one of those over there?
I did.
That's a question
Like a
for
log,
Tyler.
like a stopper?
Yeah, I don't know if that's as far as that considered stick built. Like I said, as far as the stipulations on the lot, I'm pretty sure as long as that would meet the requirements of being stick built, now I would assume.
If you want to get more information on what exactly you're talking about and get it to Tyler, we can review
See if
it.
it fits code.
Yeah.
It'd be code at that point.
Yeah, but definitely no modular double wide, it has to be stick built.
On site.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Okay. All right.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other new business?
New business.
New business.
I have one other thing that Roger spoke to me about. We brought it up at the last council meeting. They wanted to ask about the block out front. It doesn't work, it hasn't worked in years, so we're getting some rough shape on it. They wanted to know if we consider looking to replace it, I guess getting quotes and then going from there. He said he'd like to either have it replaced or at least taken down.
I mean, look at quotes, but
We had quotes years ago. It was considerable and there wasn't any money. As far as the reason it's there is contribute to the sesquicentennial, is why it was placed there. As far as replacement, if he wants to get quotes to fix it or replace it, I mean,
wasn't the repair very expensive too?
yes. At that time, it was very, very expensive.
He did mention that too, he didn't know if it'd be worth fixing.
Like I said, I remember a little bit of this, no, I don't remember any numbers, but I do remember both options being expensive. You know, it wasn't like a simple fix.
No, it was considerable money. And at the time, nobody had funds that was appropriated for that. Now, there seem to be more of them popping up around. There might be competition as far as something complimentary or something like it to replace it. Only thing I can say to let him know, he might not, there's a time capsule underneath of it. If they replace it, they need to be careful when they dig up, because there's a time capsule there.
Okay.
But other than that,
How long did you say that's been there?
the sesquicentennial was our 150th, so that was in, was it, we were 1853, so 03.
Hopefully.
Okay. So that was get quotes and bring them next meeting, pretty much?
With the understanding that, in my opinion, is our funds are tight. And when you look at those free cash flow, when we looked at it a few months ago, you know, anything that's 4 digits is gonna cut into that.
Yeah.
So, especially, I don't think it'd be more than that, but it would.
It really depends on how big the quotes are anyway, so we don't really know until we get those in.
I'd say that's not a priority at this point either. Amongst other things we can be doing, we need to be doing. Okay, any other new business? Any other business? Review the minutes here from last meeting one more time, see if there's anything. Okay. I'm not seeing anything else. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn. Next
Next
meeting
meeting.
is August 27th.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passed.
And then you're gonna get something, okay.
Thanks, Scott.